everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. This one for Monday, the 12th of February, a couple days away from Valentine's Day. It's 2024, and for some reason or another, my tongue is blue. I don't quite know why, but it is. I think I was eating some Airheads, the candy? Very delicious. At a little Super Bowl gathering. Anyway, not that you care, but if you happen to be watching on YouTube, you'll know that once again, I happen to be in my automobile. When these games go long, and the Super Bowl ended at what, like 11? Went to overtime. Great game. But when they go long, I got to go out to my car because I'm not going to risk waking up my kid and my wife. Because if I do, my week's going to start off rather shitty. I'm not going to put myself or them in that situation. So I stroll out to my car. It's electric, not that you care. So I can run it as long as I want because it's not exhaust. It's battery. Again, I'm not trying to get you to buy battery, but, I'm just telling you my setup. Again, not that you give a damn. But how you feeling, Detroit? How you feeling if you're a Lions fan? Chiefs win the football game in overtime 25-22. You do realize that the Lions scored 24 points on the Niners in one half. It took the Chiefs damn near 5 quarters because it went to overtime to score one more point than the Lions scored in a half of football. I know how things went last night. Detroit was bummed in the first half. Hell, Detroit was bummed for the last 2 weeks. They really were. I get it. It was a great opportunity that we let slip through our fingers. We might never forget it. In fact, I know we'll never forget it, and we might never get back there either. I'm not trying to be negative, but those are the facts. And I know a lot of people, and we did this podcast on Friday, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch. They called our radio show. I brought you proof, caller after caller after caller saying, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I got better things to do with my life. I'm too upset. I totally get it. And Lions fans were like that through the first half as well. First half of the football game, Chiefs put up all of 3 points on the Niners. You put up 24 in the first half. They put up 3. Lions fans all on Twitter, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace. I mean, whatever there is out there, I have no idea. YouTube. Fans are pissed. So many comments saying the same exact thing. Oh, my goodness, the Lions are the best team in the NFL. And maybe they are. But, of course, they couldn't get the job done against the Niners. And it's disappointing, obviously. But then something happened in that second half. And we'll get into the game momentarily. And I have observations and thoughts about the big game as well. But something happened in the second half. At least for me. I'm not going to speak for you. I want you to comment if you'd be so kind in the comment section. I was rooting my ass off for the Chiefs. Not because I love Patrick Mahomes. Not because I made 3 bets on the Kansas City Chiefs, including one parlay that hit on the final 2 games in overtime. Make that final 2 plays in overtime. But I wanted the Niners to lose. Didn't you want the Niners to lose? And I wanted the Niners to lose in agonizing fashion, just like you lost to the Niners in agonizing fashion. So when San Francisco is up 10, cannot hold the lead. When San Francisco has a chance to go up 4, and Jake Moody, the Michigan kicker, misses the extra point, so it's only 3, allowing the Chiefs to come back and tie it up with a field goal in the weaning moments, that made me happy as well. When the game goes to overtime, and for some reason, Kyle Shanahan, who, by the way, is the worst coach ever in the Super Bowl, chooses to take the ball when both teams are going to get a possession, that was stupid. But then to see the Niners settle for a field goal, go up 3, and the Chiefs win it with a 75-yard, 13-play drive that ended in a touchdown, oh, baby, it's awesome. I wanted the Niners to feel what Lions fans felt. Because here's the beauty of what you saw last night, at least in my opinion. It's over. It's done. They got theirs. And yes, I know it sucked that we weren't there. However, have you seen the recent Super Bowl odds? Lions are the 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl. So they can get back next year. The Niners are an older team. Who you worried about in the NFC that you don't think you can beat? Honestly, Dan Campbell in what, 29 games doesn't have a losing skid, always gets his team ready to play, pretty much bringing everybody back next season. Why couldn't the Lions get there again? I think the answer is, of course, they could get there again. And then I heard this Super Bowl commercial. Okay. And I don't know, by the way, if this actually aired during the Super Bowl, because I was actually switching off between the golf and the Super Bowl. The golf is very exciting. Little Phoenix Open, the Waste Management went to a playoff. So I was watching that and I was watching the Super Bowl. So I didn't see all the commercials, but this commercial leaked. You ever watch Friday Night Lights? Coach Eric Taylor on NBC. Clear eyes, cool minds, you can't lose. I know that's not the saying, but it's something like that. Well, he, who's in every movie and TV show like ever, he did a great commercial for American Airlines, I believe it was. And I played it on the radio last Friday because it leaked on Yahoo, I think it was. This is directed towards Lions fans, at least in my opinion. I'm going to play you this commercial. And then I have some thoughts about why we should be so fucking stoked. Here's the commercial. Take a listen.
I know most of us are watching other people's teams play today, and we're happy for them. We are. But we're hurting too, because today belongs to someone else. But today is all they get. Tomorrow is yours, and every day after that, until your team is here next year, winning it all. This is about more than just football. It's about believing. Believing so hard that you book your flight for next year's big game before the season even starts. Because believing that hard can change everything.
All right, so again, airline commercial, go buy your tickets. You can refund your tickets if your team doesn't get to the big game. But the commercial, and maybe it's hokey or maybe it's cheesy, it did hit me. Because instead of whining like we did, and it's understandable, for the last 2 weeks and for the first half of the Super Bowl, we should be celebrating. Because for the first time in our life, we're going to go into a season where it's Super Bowl or bust. And that's not me saying it, some hack. That's the players saying it. That's the coach saying it. That's the organization saying it. Lions could and should go to the Super Bowl next year. They might be the favorites in the NFC to get back. They should be. So instead of being so upset and saying to yourself, I'm never going to get over what happened in Santa Clara a couple weeks ago, instead, the switch should be flipped. You should be saying, I can't wait till next year. I can't wait to go to the Super Bowl. I asked this question on the radio. I'll ask it to you. What do you think is more true? Do you think it's more true that the Lions could get to the Super Bowl next year or in one of the upcoming years, considering their team is young and they have a ton of cap space and they have a brilliant GM and they have a fantastic coach? Or do you believe what happened this year was a fluke? 1 year wonder. Never going to happen for them. Nope, not in the cards. They wasted their year of destiny. Which one do you believe? For me, I believe my first option I gave you. Lions should go to the Super Bowl. Now, will they? Who the hell knows? But knowing you have a team of that caliber for the first time in your life, even going into this year, we thought, let's win a playoff game. Let's win an easier division. Now it's let's go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I think people should be celebrating. I think watching the Niners lose how they lost, knowing that you're going to be damn good next year and you get a whole off season of the draft in Detroit and free agency with a ton of cap space to spend. I think Detroit should come out of their slumber, come out of the negativity, come out of the depression. I think everything's going to be just fine. And for the first time in our life, I think you should cherish and celebrate on a Monday how good this team can be in the upcoming years. So tell me where you're at. You still depressed, or do you see the light on the other end of the tunnel? Okay, that's number one. Number two, how about the game? Okay, talk a little Super Bowl very quickly before we let you go. I know you got stuff to do on a Monday, so do I, believe it or not. But that was a fantastic game. And I know it started when everybody's like, oh, this sucks. Oh, this is boring. I mean, nothing happened in the third quarter until like the end of the third quarter. But again, to see the Niners lost how they lose, like up 10, dumb coaching decisions. Why is Kyle Shanahan on 3rd and 4 not running the football late in regulation? Instead, they pass. The Chiefs blitz. It's incomplete. They settle for the field goal, giving the Chiefs 2 timeouts and plenty of time to come back and tie it. And then, of course, it eventually went to overtime. Also, don't understand why the Niners are taking the football. It makes no sense. It's essentially college football. I want to be the team that, first of all, picks my side. Not a big deal. But second of all, know what I have to do. Knowing that both teams get a possession, guaranteed, the Niners should have given the Chiefs the football. But the other thing, by the way, too, if you're San Francisco, you got to be saying to yourself, fucking A. We let Patrick Mahomes do it to us, too. Like he does it to everybody. Patrick Mahomes is the best ever to live. I know people are going to say Tom Brady because he's got 4 more rings than Mahomes, but 6 seasons. Mahomes is only 28. He's got 3 Super Bowls. He's been there 4 times. He's been to countless AFC title games. Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. Better than Brady. The best ever to do it, at least in my opinion. And I don't know if he's going to get 4 more Super Bowls. I would actually bet that he will. I think they'll win it again next year, potentially. You know, they're going to get back. Travis Kelce said he's coming back. They're going to have a whole offseason, too, to go get some better receivers. But Patrick Mahomes is amazing. And he proved it to you once again last night. He'll come back and kill you. Always. Always. And for all the people like myself that were mad at Dan Campbell because he didn't kick a couple field goals, well, the Niners kicked some field goals. They ended up getting beat. So maybe Dan Campbell was on to something, you know? But Mahomes, I think the conversation should start. And I think you should start leaning towards Mahomes as the greatest quarterback ever to breathe oxygen. The guy is so freaking good. And look at the team that he did it with this year. A bunch of dudes that just drop the football over and over and over again. He's unbelievable. And Kyle Shanahan is a very bad big game coach. Couple observations there. Okay. I got more observations for you. How bad is Tony Romo? Tony Romo is awful. Like, isn't it time that we stopped with Tony Romo? I don't know if CBS can get out of that contract. I know he makes like 20 mil a year. Tony Romo started off so good because everybody thought, oh my God, he can predict plays, which I got to believe a lot of people can do. Like Tom Brady, he starts at Fox next year. Have you seen some of his stuff talking to Steve Young on the internet? He looks like he's going to be good. The difference between Brady and Romo, well, there's many of them. First of all, Romo's a better golfer than Brady. Second of all, Brady's going to take it fucking serious. Tony Romo does not take this serious. He doesn't even sound confident in what he says to Jim Nantz. He makes Jim Nantz a worse broadcaster. There was a point in time, by the way, where Nantz was saying goodbye to their longtime executive producer. And Tony Romo said something to the effect of, oh, yeah, we love him. He took a chance on your partner, Jim. And I love working with Jim Nantz. And Nantz scoffed. Like, I truly believe, and I can't prove this, that Nantz hates Tony Romo. Because Tony don't work. I broke up my thought, but he started his career by predicting plays. Everybody thought that was so cool. He thought he had everything under control. He stinks. He's an awful color analyst. I don't understand how CBS can keep this guy. Now, listen, I'm not saying I'm broadcaster of the world. I'm not going to win any Marconis. I'm not even going to get a promotion anytime soon, I wouldn't expect. But you know what? People can rip on me. I can rip on Tony Romo. Do better, dude. You have the job of a lifetime. The opportunity of a lifetime. And you don't even try. He doesn't sound confident in anything that he says. I think he realizes that people don't like him and that he's not very good and that he's coasting, which is truly a shame. Tony Romo stinks. And frankly, it is appalling. Here's the other thing. Commercials, couple that stuck out. I love the messy one for what was it, Labatt Light, if I'm not mistaken. He's on the beach. I enjoyed that one. I also, and this is underrated, I don't think a lot of people enjoyed this, but I enjoyed the Pringles commercial where it was Mr. Pringle with the mustache. At one point, he held up the Pringle can to his iPhone and it cracked his Face ID, like it worked for him. The iPhone thought that his owner was Mr. Pringle on the canister. I thought that was really cool too. So what else? What else do I have for you before you got to go get your Monday underway? Oh, what the hell was with Travis Kelce? Like at the very end, it was great to see him make out with Taylor Swift. And by the way, if you took the prop bet of him proposing, I don't believe he's proposed yet. But what the hell was with him assaulting his head coach? At the time of this recording, I don't know what Andy Reid said about it. I know he's going to get asked. I don't know what Travis Kelce said about it. But he's got to feel like a dumbass, doesn't he? It's one thing to be upset that you got taken out of the game up for a play or two. It's one thing to be upset that you're not getting the football. But to go after Andy Reid, who, by the way, could be retiring, Andy Reid, who's got to be, what, 65, 66? Andy Reid, who is definitely, what, 3 times older than Travis Kelce? I mean, if Kelce wasn't pulled away from Reid, he might have thrown a punch. Okay, maybe I'm going too far. You can tell me what you think. But that was embarrassing. That was utterly embarrassing. Come on, dude. You're talking about one of the greatest coaches of all time. I get that your girl's in the stands. I understand she's in a suite with Patrick Mahomes' brother and wife and Blake Lively. I get it, man. But come on. What the hell, dude? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a big Travis Kelce fan. I think he's one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the game. You think that too. But that was a bad look, seeing him go after Andy Reid like that. Anyway, big win for the Chiefs. They got their dynasty. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest of all time already. And if you're a Lions fan, you got to be feeling better about things, don't you? Not only did the Niners lose in a tough ass fashion, woo-hoo! I mean, Niner fans are not going to be able to get over this anytime soon. You know what? It's taken you 2 weeks and a half of football to maybe get back in the football mood. Think about losing like that. Now, I get it. You want to go to the Super Bowl instead of not going to the Super Bowl. But if you would have went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs like that after dominating in the first half and blowing a lead and seeing yourself lose like you lost, knowing that Mahomes, if you give him enough time, you let him hang around, he's going to get you. I don't know how you get over that. By the way, you lost to the same team, talking about the Niners, that they did 4 years ago as well. And they blew a 10-point lead in that game too. So that was good. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I did. It made me feel so much better. If that makes me a bad person or a bad fan, then so be it. But let me know, comment section. Listen, we'll read comments tomorrow. I got to get out of my car. I got to go get this thing up on the internet. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. I enjoyed the Super Bowl. Chiefs win again, 25-22. Mahomes is unbelievable. But if you want to comment, I read them all. I interact with as many as I possibly can. I think Mahomes has overtaken Brady. I already thought that before he won this game, but now he's got 3 Super Bowls in 6 years of playing football. That's so impressive. The other thing, too, by the way, is Tony Romo, dude. I mean, embarrassing. I did think he got a little better as the game went on, but my God, he doesn't seem prepared. It's so embarrassing. And Jim Nantz has got to be like the consummate professional. Jim Nantz has got to be beside himself. I can sense the tension. I'm not making this up. That's all I got for you. We'll catch you tomorrow in the Daily Ticket. Please subscribe, download, rate, review, watch on YouTube, or get the Daily Ticket wherever you happen to get your podcast. And You know what? We'll read comments tomorrow, and we'll join you tomorrow with some more stuff. It was a great weekend of Detroit sports. How about the Red Wings? We got to talk about the Wings. 4 points above the playoff cut line. What a win they had on Saturday against the best in the game, Vancouver Canucks. So we'll hit on that maybe this week as well. All right, guys, have a great Monday. We'll catch you tomorrow on a Tuesday. Feel better. You feel good now. Lions can go to the Super Bowl next year. See ya.